Senior High School On-Air Academy. Unstoppable! Delivering you quality education amidst pandemic.
To defer school opening to October 5.
Unstoppable!
Giving you accessible learning platform anytime, anywhere.
Ang klase, whatever form it is.
Comprehensible!
Buckle up and get yourself ready.
I will repeat, then you will do it later on.
Accurate!
The sphere that includes all living things.
Today, we'll be talking about rational functions.
Simplify.
This is Jaw speaking. How may I help you?
This is the School Radio's Senior High School On-Air Academy.
And now, here's your new episode for Philo Foundations. Your guide for the subject, Introduction to Philosophy. Philo Foundations. Philo Foundations.
Bloom says education is the movement from darkness to light. Good morning, dear listeners and students. How are you? I know you are all excited to learn another topic in Introduction to Philosophy episode. I am so grateful to be with you again in this modality of learning. Truly, education continues despite pandemic. I am very pleased that you are with me today to listen and learn through radio. I am your radio teacher, Lilibeth Mimban Tabuyo. Before we start, make sure that you are comfortable in your place and carefully listen to the lesson to be aired. Be ready with your learning references, pen and notebook. Are you ready?
Oh yeah!
I bet you are. But before we'll have the new topic today, we will first have a glimpse of our past lesson. Can you still remember what we have discussed last week?
Oh yeah!
Indeed, evaluating truth from opinions in different situations using the methods of philosophizing. Yes, what is implied in philosophizing? To recognize truth when we encounter it. This implies that the philosopher is partially in possession of the truth or he could not seek it successfully. It follows that he must analyze what he is doing philosophically. Now, can you still remember the different philosophical methods of determining the truth or drawing conclusions from a statement? Very good! 4 of the philosophical methods of determining the truth are Socratic, dialectic, scientific, and historical. Can you explain how Socratic and dialectic methods are being used to determine the truth? Sakto! These methods are being used when discussion between 2 or more people who may carry differing views but wish to pursue the truth by seeking an agreement with one another. How about the scientific method? What is the basis? Correct! This is the process of determining truth through experimentation. Inductive and deductive reasoning and hypothesis, or theory testing. Exactly the same when we are asked to do experiment in our science classes. Isn't it that we do such thing to prove something? What about the basis for historical method of knowing the truth? Right! It is working with historical text and context to prove the truthfulness of such issue. Alright, Is philosophizing a worthwhile process to know the truth?
Yay!
Definitely yes, for it simply employs mental gymnastics to avoid direct confrontation with our own issues in life. Wow! I am inspired to teach today, for we all have a sharp memory of remembering the past lesson. Congratulations!
All right.
Guys, are you excited to know the answers for the quiz last episode?
Oh yeah!
I'm certain of that. So here it is. Be attentive and check your paper honestly. If your answer for number 1 is true, then you are correct. Give your sweetest smile for number 2 if your answer is also true. And for number 3, you got it right if your answer is false. Cheer up if your answer for number 4 is false. And finally, loud hooray for number 5 if your answer is true. Count your scores and write it on your notebook, for it will be recorded by your teacher. Congratulations, guys! You did a good job. Stay tuned, for I will be back after this reminder.
Taho! Taho kayo dyan! Di makatulog sa gabi sa kaiisip, damdamin ko'y mayroong lungkot hanggang sa panaginip. Oh, Berto, di ka ba nakatulog kagabi? Hindi nga ho, Kuya Pekto. Dala ho siguro ng lungkot ng pag-iisa dito sa bahay. Di ho kasi makalabas dahil sa COVID-19. Hay... Berto, may 3 bagay na dapat kang tandaan para maiwasan ng lungkot sa mga ganitong sitwasyon. Una, alamin ang dahilan ng iyong kalungkutan. Pangalawa, maaaring ipabatid ang iyong nararanasan sa mga taong malalapit sa iyo. Nariyan ang internet para makausap mo sila. At ang pangatlo, ilaan mo ang iyong oras sa mga bagay na ikaw ay magiging abala. Hindi lang pisikal na kalusugan ang mahalaga, Berto, pati pang kaisipan rin. Tatandaan ko yan, Kuya Pekto. Maraming salamat sa payo. Isang paalala mula sa kagawaran ng edukasyon at ng himpilang ito.
Back here at Radyo Eskwela with your radio teacher, Teacher Beth. Are you all excited to begin another lesson?
Oh yeah!
So, just sit, relax, and open your ears and hearts for you to understand everything to be aired. Today, our lesson is human person as an embodied spirit. Do you know something about this topic? In this topic, you will recognize how human body imposes limits and possibilities for transcendence. Did you read the lesson ahead of time?
Yay!
That is great to hear. You're ready to rock today. For that reason, let's test how far have you gone in your readings. What you need to do? Simple. You say in if the statement is correct and out if the statement is incorrect. Did you understand?
Yay!
Okay, buckle up. Number 1. Embodiment means inseparable union of body and soul, in or out. What did you answer? Correct! In. Number 2. Human person is the point of convergence between the material and spiritual entities, in or out. Did I hear you say in?
Oh yeah!
Well, that is another point for you. Number 3. Human persons are biologically deficient beings. In or out? Point for you again. It's in. Number 4. Transcendence means extending or lying beyond the limits of extraordinary experience. In or out? Right. It's in. Number 5. Human person as an embodied spirit limits numerous opportunities to explore everything around us and within us. In or out? Got it! It's out! Indeed, you continue doing good. So let's zoom in to human person as an embodied spirit. The most basic definition of a human being relates to the nature of humans as animals. Philosophers, however, believe that the human being is not just a mere animal. There is something in the human individual that sets him or her apart from other beings. These special traits make a human a distinct individual person. Human person is the totality of an individual possessing awareness, self-determination, and the capacity to interact with others and with himself or herself. What sets us apart from other beings and things in existence? Right! There are 4 traits of human person that sets him apart from other beings, namely 1. Self-awareness, 2. Self-determination, 3. Externality, and 4. Dignity. So, what is self-awareness? You said it right! Self-awareness refers to the person having a clear perception of oneself, including his or her thoughts, emotions, identity, and actions. How do you feel today? Are there things that make you happy or sad? That's it. It's only us humans who have feelings and thoughts. We act on things that animals don't. What about self-determination? Correct. Self-determination refers to the capability of persons to make choices based on their preferences, monitor and regulate their actions, and be goal-oriented and self-directed. Say, I'll ask you now, what are your study plans this pandemic? Are you already sure what course you're going to take in the future? Do you have targets every day? That's self-determination. You conceived things in your own mind and make it happen. And the next, externality. Very good. Externality is the capability to reach out and interact with others and the world. This pandemic, I believe you value much reaching out for others, though we're at home. We try to communicate to our friends and acquaintances, especially those who are experiencing COVID, because we'd like them to be healed or at least psychologically lifted. Reaching out this time also means taking care of ourselves, not to be affected by the virus because that's how we save others. So, stay home. Don't get affected by the virus. And lastly, good dignity is an innate right to be valued and respected. A social doctrine of church says a just society can become a reality only when it is based on the respect of the transcendent dignity of the human person. The person represents the ultimate end of society. Did you understand the 4 traits of a human person?
Oh, yeah!
Are you still willing to learn more?
Okay!
That is great to hear. I am also willing to share you more. I have all the energy because I can feel in the air the interest and perseverance among my students to learn. Alright, what is human person as an embodied spirit? Knowing this means defining first what is embodied spirit. Any guess? Philosophers consider the human person as defined by the union of the body and the spirit. Not only are the body and spirit united, but they are also integrated with each other. This means that we cannot separate the two, and they go hand in hand in making us who we are. Whatever affects the body also affects the spirit, and this unique trait enables him or her to experience both the physical world and the spiritual world. Embodiment enables us to do and experience all the things that make us human persons. How are the body and spirit related? For instance, in our science subjects, love is a result of various biological reactions associated with an increased hormones, which may have certain effects on the body. In philosophy, we don't love just with the heart or brain. We love a person with our entire being. Wow! Embodiment is the one thing that enables us to feel loved and loved by others. The human body acts as a mediator between the material world and the spiritual world. Being embodied spirit, the person is able to encounter the world objects and other personal objects in a manner that transcends the physical. Through embodiment, allows one to form intimate relationship with those outside him. Putting it simply, with human embodiment, you cannot meet someone you love in person. You can hold hands together because just the soul alone, that means you date through your minds. Human embodiment allows persons to attach certain feelings or ideas not only to people but also to objects. With human embodiment, physical acts are no longer purely physical acts because the body conveys something from a person's inner world. A pat on the shoulder from your idol, a smile from your crush will create intense emotional reaction in you. These examples show that it is through embodiment that a person can have a very unique relationship with the world. And it is this unique relationship that defines us as humans. Is everything clear, my dear students? Do you want more? Wow, truly amazing and inspiring. My dear student, how does your human nature enable you to explore your limits? I will give you a minute to reflect. Are you still with me, my dear listeners? Are you done reflecting? Wow, that's great! Though the nature of the person as an embodied spirit provides numerous opportunities to explore everything around us, and even without us, our human nature still imposes limitations. It is true that the human person enjoys a number of advantages compared to other beings, but there are still a number of things that humans naturally cannot do. The ability to surpass limits is called transcendence, and it is also one important trait that distinguishes the human person from other beings in existence. Our mind is an important tool that allows us to go beyond many of our physical limits. As persons, we cannot exercise our imagination and reflection to go beyond our own thoughts and experiences. For example, we can imagine ourselves in other places without traveling there. Even if we are seated inside the classroom, we often find ourselves daydreaming that we are in other places or doing other things. We cannot travel through time, but we use our minds to recall the past and even imagine the future. We can even think of things that do not exist, like fire-breathing dragons, winged horses, and flying elephants. Although we have physical limitations, we can transcend them because of our spiritual dimensions. Being physically limited in our abilities does not prevent us from hoping for or aspiring to greater things. Alright, is everything clear, students? Oh, yes! Everything is clear and understood by all. This time, let us have a recap on what we discussed. As I emphasized earlier, human person is the totality of an individual, possessing awareness, self-determination, and the capacity to interact with others and with himself or herself. There are 4 traits of human person that sets him apart from other beings, namely self-awareness, self-determination, externality, and dignity. Philosophers consider the human person as defined by the union of the body and the spirit. The human person is an embodied spirit, though the nature of the person as an embodied spirit provides numerous opportunities to explore everything around us, and even without us, our human nature is still imposes limitations. Any questions so far? Is everything understood by all?
Oh, yeah!
Great! Now, are you ready and excited to take a short quiz?
All right!
Wow! Everybody is excited to take this exercise. This is an assessment if you learned and understood the topic discussed. You have nothing to worry because the quiz is very easy. I believe you can perfect it, provided you stayed and listened to the discussion. Alright, please get a piece of paper and identify the concept or terms for each statement. I will be reading it twice. Ready? For number 1, refers to the person having a clear perception of oneself, including his or her thoughts, emotions, and actions. Again, this refers to the person having a clear perception of oneself, including his or her thoughts, emotions, and actions. For number 2, this refers to the capability of persons to make choices and decisions based on their own preferences, monitor and regulate their actions, and be goal-oriented and self-directed. Again, for number 2, this refers to the capability of persons to make choices and decisions based on their own preferences, monitor and regulate their actions, and be goal-oriented and self-directed. Number 3, this refers to the capability to reach out and interact with others and the world. Again, this refers to the capability to reach out and interact with others and the world. For number 4, this is an innate right to be valued and respected. Again, for number 4, this is an innate right to be valued and respected. Can you follow, dear students? Do you want more? Okay, so that's good to hear. Let us continue for number 5. This is the ability to surpass limits. Again, this is the ability to surpass limits. You really did well in our lesson today, my dear learners. Job well done. Alright, I will be giving you the answers in the next episode. Indeed, you learned a lot. So, before I end, I just want to share the statement of Salvador Dali. Intelligence without ambition is a bird without wings. Again, thank you so much for staying with me. I hope that you had fruitful time spent in our lesson. Again, I am Teacher Lilibeth Mimbantabuyo, your radio teacher, signing off. I'll see you in our next episode.
Patuloy ang edukasyon para sa ating henerasyon.
Sa daan ng pagkatuto ay walang may iwan.
Kaya halina sa Radyo Eskwela.